A lot of interesting storylines from day three, starting with a non-combine participant from a small school that we had high grades on and a lot of excitement about. Rodney Gunter traded up in the fourth round. Another non-combine guy, Shaq Riddick, who has a great story behind him, transfer from Gardner-Webb, and extremely talented young man who has some upside as a pass rusher, outside linebacker for us. The fastest guy in the combine who can absolutely fly and has tremendous return skills, and J.J. Nelson. And then Mr. Irrelevant. Pretty neat story there. Great character kid, a guy who we think has an opportunity to make our football team, and Gerald Christensen. It's one of those things you go back to, why do you trade back to begin with? It's either to acquire more picks or at some point use it as ammunition. And in this business, enough people talk that occasionally you get some intel that tells you where a guy is going to potentially go. And I had a little birdie tell me where he was going to go if we didn't take him. And I got a call that confirmed that from the GM afterwards. I won't name any names, but I was glad we did what we did. And the kid has tremendous upside. A lot of fans are probably going to say, who is Rodney Gunter? I have a pretty strong conviction, Coach has pretty strong conviction that in the next couple of years our fans are going to know real well who Rodney Gunter is. When you've had some success on small school guys, there are certain criteria that make those guys special. And it starts with their physical traits. And it really also, adding to that, is their commitment and passion for the game. So where we left off on day one, where we went to day two, and now on day three, all of these guys are passionate, tremendous leaders. And I know Rodney was a team captain as well.
Non-combine guys, is there an air of secrecy, kind of an old school scout approach where you don't want anybody to find out about it?
Well, I mean, I think when you, and it goes way back in the scouting world, paranoia is at a premium, whether it's people that know what you're doing or the fact that this guy didn't go to the combine and what's the knock on him. At the end of the day, you got to trust your eyes. And if you believe in what you see and you believe in the process and in your scouts and in your coaches and all the work's put into it, you have no problem making a decision.
Yeah.
And whether anybody's heard of Rodney Gunter or not, I'm not concerned at all. I trust our people and I trust my own eyes. I trust Coach Arians' eyes, and we felt extremely good about the pick.
Yeah, the other thing people don't realize is 11 teams had this guy in. 11 teams worked him out. 2 teams were getting ready to draft him. All right, and we had to work to get above him because we liked him that much.
Bruce, when you look at a guy like J.J. Nelson, how would you compare him to John Brown?
A little bit longer, a little bit skinnier, but I think J.J. will be 175 before we ever get to training camp, once we feed him and get him on a program. But he has – it's funny because I was at a track meet 4 years ago in Alabama in Birmingham, state championships. My granddaughter was running. And this kid from midfield won the 100, 200, 4x1, little skinny dude. It's like, and my son and I go, who in the hell is that? Just happened to be J.J. Nelson. And, you know, it's like, it was really weird because of this draft class with you know, Jameis, Amir, all these kids we had in our football camps, and then seeing J.J. at that track meet, and then playing at UAB, we knew all about him. He is a dynamic kick returner, but he can take the top off the coverage. But this is one guy that's really fast and can break and cut. He really reminds me of Emmanuel Sanders, who I drafted in Pittsburgh. And but Emmanuel doesn't have 4.25 speed. You know, it's very rare to have a guy this fast to be able to cut and also return kicks. And we'll bulk him up. He'll be 175 easy, and he's got good length. He's got a little more length than John, and Smokes might be a little faster in and out. But what a great pair of fast guys.
Big picture view. How do you view what you accomplished in this draft?
Well, you know, I think number one, we added several players who are passionate and love the game and are going to be great for our locker room. At the same time, we added some guys who a lot of fans probably don't know a lot about, but we see a tremendous amount of upside. Coach says all the time, no risk it, no biscuit. and I don't think it's any secret in this room that I like biscuits. So, you know,
Stealing on my lines, man. What the hell?
So, no, but at the end of the day, you know, when you see guys that have potential, they also have to have the mental aptitude to get better, and these guys do. They really are passionate. I mean, when we called them on the phone, they about jumped through the phone that we were drafting them, regardless of where they were projected to go, whatever it may be. We feel great about it, and so not only are we excited about our draft class, we've already got commitments from 3 or 4 players in free agency who we had as 4th, 5th round type draft prospects. So we know we're going to come away with several other players who can potentially help our team.